slightest? It's hard to accept, but it's the truth most men refuse to face. In this video, we'll discuss a brutal fact that almost everyone prefers to ignore. Women do not care about what you do for them. You can give her gifts, solve her problems, support her 24/7. But if you don't give her what she truly desires, none of it matters. She'll leave, lose interest, or start treating you as if you're replaceable. And while you're left wondering, how could she leave after everything I've done for her? Welcome to the space where we speak to men with transparency and without sugarcoating anything. Today's topic is uncomfortable, but essential. The 5 things a woman truly desires, and why all your effort is worth nothing if they're missing. This isn't about hating women. It's about understanding them. Because when you understand what truly matters to them, you stop wasting your time, energy, and money on things that don't move the needle. Why do so many decent men end up ignored and used? Because they believe that being kind, devoted, and generous will be enough to win her over. But attraction doesn't work that way. Women don't fall in love with effort, but with impact. This video is made to destroy illusions. No more assumptions, no more fantasies that being a good man will be enough. I'm going to guide you step by step through the 5 essential elements a woman truly desires in a man. When you understand this, you'll stop being overly indulgent and start standing out. Get ready to be angry at yourself, because this is the slap no one gave you. The harder you try to win her over, the faster you kill her desire for you. Yes, you text her every morning, pay for dinners, reply within seconds as if your self-esteem depends on it. Do you think you're showing seriousness? She only smells need, and need doesn't seduce. Desire isn't a merit exam. It's emotion, presence, and mystery. She doesn't think. He texted me twice, invited me twice, so I must like him today. That's not how it works. She's attracted to what she can't explain. The calm of a centered man, the right amount of unpredictability. Look at the pattern. A man meets a woman and overextends himself, gifts, Uber at her door, a flood of messages, and instant responses. In his head, he's showing commitment. In hers, she wonders, why so much so soon? What does he want? What's he compensating for? Now, compare that to the man who doesn't overdo it. He shows interest without throwing himself at her. He has his own life and rhythm. He speaks without trying to impress her. That man intrigues her. She feels something, and that feeling, not your resume of deeds, is what turns into attraction. The lesson is simple. If your effort doesn't move emotion, it's noise. You're not judged by how much you do, but by how she feels by your side. Don't work harder, work smarter. If effort alone were enough, all the good men would already be married. Second truth, what attracts her is emotional strength, not dependence. Most men don't understand this. Women don't fall in love with the one who gives more, but with the one who makes them feel more. It's not about what you give her, it's about the emotional impact you leave. Many believe that with gifts, favors, and infinite availability, they'll buy love or loyalty. They think if I keep giving, one day she'll see my value. The reality is they want a healthy dynamic of emotional power to feel your attention and energy, without you controlling them completely. And most men give away that power without noticing. You can organize her perfect birthday, crown her as queen, and still, she may feel distant. Why? Because it's not about what you give, it's about how she feels when she's with you. If she feels that she has all the control your focus, mood, and availability, she gets bored. She doesn't want to be worshipped. She wants to be energized. She craves the right emotional roller coaster, not the perfect carousel. Predictable is not romantic. She wants tension, curiosity, anticipation. She wants a bond that keeps her a little on edge, not a man who competes for her approval every minute of the day. That's where most stumble. They confuse providing with satisfying emotionally. It's not the same game. You can give without being weak. You can be affectionate without being submissive, and she can feel safe with you without you handing her the steering wheel. If she learns to lean on you for everything, she gets used to it and switches off. You stop being desirable and start becoming manageable. When you lose the emotional edge, attraction melts in silence. Understand this, they desire a living connection, not good treatment on autopilot. The man who moves her on the inside is the one she returns to. Stop trying to buy what can only be obtained with real presence, emotional depth, and unpredictability. Third, uncomfortable truth. The nice guy is a safety net, not the first choice. It sounds good on paper. Be kind, take care, always be there. But in real life, the decent man is rarely chosen. He becomes the spare tire. He listens, comforts, waits without asking, and hopes that one day she'll finally see him. Deep down, he knows he's not option number one. He's the insurance. And yes, they appreciate good men. He's so sweet. He's always there for me. Listen to what they say while they text the one who truly moves them. That's the problem. Security and attraction don't always coexist. You can provide everything and still not make her feel anything. The one she fantasizes about is not the one who says yes to everything. The more predictable you are, the more invisible you become. The nice man never pulls on anything. He doesn't question, doesn't set boundaries, bends over to please, and becomes comfortable, forgettable. They don't hate kindness. They hate kindness without an edge. A doormat doesn't awaken desire. Think about gravity, who feels pulled towards something that has no weight. If she can anticipate all your moves and knows you'll be there no matter what, she feels no impulse. You're a guarantee, not a challenge. And no one gets excited by what's guaranteed. Women are fine antennas. They look for contrast. They want a man who gives comfort, not passivity. Kindness, not cowardice. Availability, not desperation. He has been the therapist friend to whom she confesses how badly her real boyfriend treats her. That is the trap. You become her emotional support animal, not the man she desires. Being good is fine, but erasing your standards to be liked is self-erasing. She does not keep count of your favors. She perceives your energy. If your energy is fearful, anxious, and overly compliant, you're out. The minimum is being pleasant. What distinguishes you is strength, guidance, and the ability to say "not like this" and walk away if necessary. Polarity creates respect, and respect is the foundation of desire. Your peace does not depend on anyone, not even her. If you wait for her approval to feel complete, you've already handed over the power. Marcus Aurelius did not beg for validation. He built himself from within, in silence, without haste and without pause. Shift the axis, stop orbiting her life like a satellite, and return to being the star in your own. If it fits, you do not shrink. If it does not fit, you expand. That change of energy takes you off the bench and puts you in the center. You go from acceptable to inevitable. If you've been the man she texted until someone better arrived, engrave this into your mind. Stop trying to be chosen. Become impossible to ignore. How? Presence over haste, boundaries over need, mystery over overexposure, affection with backbone, generosity without submission, give without losing the edge. Lead your state without reacting to every microgesture of hers. Because, and here's the phrase that hurts, desire does not reward blind sacrifice. It rewards emotional density. If your effort does not create movement in her, it's not merit, it's noise. If your treatment does not spark healthy tension, it's routine. And routine without polarity kills. Return to the center. Breathe, observe, respond. Do not react. Stop explaining who you are. Be it. And if the dynamic requires you to sell yourself to stay, it's time to leave. The man who does not seek permission to have value becomes unforgettable. Number 4. Seeking approval from her weakens you in her eyes. Let us move to this. We all like to feel valued. Receiving compliments feels good. You mean so much to me. You're incredible. It strokes the ego in the right place. However, when your self-esteem depends on hearing those things, especially from her, you're not being validated. You're begging. Women can detect it from miles away. Here's what you must understand. Seeking validation is not just unattractive, it's repellent. It shows her that your sense of worth is unstable. You need her to declare you a man before you're ready to behave like one. As soon as she notices it, something changes. She stops looking up at you and starts looking down on you, even if she does not consciously recognize it. A shift in polarity occurs because the man who always seeks approval, who constantly needs confirmation, does not lead. He follows, and that following energy kills attraction. Let me be clear, when you try to extract praise, you exaggerate. Are you upset? Every time she goes silent or seems distant, you panic. When she does not acknowledge your presence, you shrink. That's bleeding out your masculine energy. And deep down, you know it. You know the feeling of shrinking when you should have held your frame, of apologizing for having expectations just to keep her comfortable, of modifying your words to avoid her pulling away. That is not strength. That is performance. And every time you do it, you teach her not to respect you. Do not misunderstand me. I am not saying you must be robotic or cold, but your central identity cannot be at her disposal whenever she wants. You cannot delegate your value to capturing her interest. When you do, you teach her one lesson. Your value is negotiable. And no woman wants to be in charge of your self-esteem. It is not attractive. It is exhausting. She wants a man who is grounded, who can tolerate silence, distance, or even hostility without collapsing, without chasing, without trembling. Centuries ago, the Stoics already knew this. According to Epictetus, if you want to improve, accept being thought foolish and ignorant. Why? Because they understood that the opinions of others, especially fleeting approval, are not a solid foundation. You cannot build a stable life on the shifting winds of another person's attitude. Practicing Stoicism does not mean feeling nothing. It means refusing to hand over your emotional keys to others. So, how do you break the need for confirmation? You begin by observing it. Those small moments, the spike of nervousness when she leaves you unseen, the subtle urge to explain yourself when you feel misunderstood, the instant when she seems less attentive. Name it, catch it, and then act from principles, from leadership. Ask yourself, how would the man I aspire to be behave right now? Not the frightened boy, not the pleaser. That is where your power endures. And once you begin, she notices because she lives there. You shift from needy to magnetic, from reactive to serene, from waiting to be chosen to already being enough. Leave me a comment if you've ever caught yourself seeking approval and feeling lesser for it. If this struck you, understand this: most good men are not weak. They are trapped. They are programmed to find their identity in approval. But that programming can be repaired, replaced with calm, clarity, and self-control. If that is what you want to build, join immediately. This channel is not for passive listeners. It is for men who are done explaining themselves, done begging for attention, and are ready to accept their own presence. If you truly care about growth, join the Brotherhood. Join now to receive access to deeper instruction, dialogue, tools, and strategy. Here, we publish nothing publicly. No tricks, no decorations. No decorations only, men becoming unbreakable. Click subscribe. Enter now because you will not become strong with validation, but by building yourself from within. That will leave a mark. Number 5. Mystery is preferable to consistency. Let us accept it once and for all. If you ever thought, I just need to show her that I am reliable, or if I keep being consistent, she will notice my value, you are already playing against yourself without realizing it. Because in matters of attraction, especially with female mystery and magnetism, consistency by itself always loses. I know it sounds strange. We were taught that being reliable, accessible, and constant creates security. And yes, consistency has its place, of course. But what most ignore is that consistency without polarity becomes boring. You show up every day. You always write. You always make plans. You always give compliments. You are safe. But little by little, without her even noticing, everything becomes flat. Why? Because when she can predict everything you will do, say, or feel, she loses emotion. You do not excite her. Your presence does not stir her nervous system. It does not spark curiosity. She already knows what will happen before it happens. And desire dies before it is even born. Let us analyze. Desire needs space. It needs contrast. It needs uncertainty. I'm not talking about lack of trust, but that healthy feeling of, I do not fully have him. That sensation makes her lean toward you. Rethink your words. Wonder what is in your mind. Consistent men do not leave that space. They overload. They overexplain. They fill everything. They leave nothing to the imagination. In contrast, the man who does not reply until he is ready, who does not overshare, who appears with his own cadence, creates a trail of emotional tension, and that tension is the source of magnetism. Let us be clear, mystery does not mean manipulation. It is not faking distance or playing games to provoke. It is conserving your energy, your rhythm, your identity, orbiting entirely around her. It is not being always available, not because you want to punish her, but because you are busy building something. It is leaving parts of yourself undisclosed, not false, simply not always exposed. The reality is, when you make a woman have to discover something, she becomes emotionally engaged. Return to your words, build the plot, the suspense, and you did nothing more than not overexpose yourself. What captivates in a good movie? Not knowing everything, the attention, the gradual revelation, the unanswered question. Women function the same way on an emotional frequency, but the nice guy puts the whole movie in the trailer. No edge, no suspense, only, here I am, ready for you, and that kills polarity. Mystery keeps her curious. Excessive consistency only gives her comfort, and comfort without spark is a slow death of desire. Here, stoicism is ideal. The stoic man does not act to impress. He speaks less, observes more, acts with intention, and above all, does not give explanations unless necessary. Marcus Aurelius did not write, "Make sure they understand you." He wrote, "Do not waste time debating what a good man should be." So, do not destroy your edge by trying to convince. Do not sacrifice your gravity for constant visibility. The strong man knows when to be seen and when to retreat into the shadow. Leave me a comment if you've ever noticed how the energy changes when you stop being so accessible. Now you understand. The point is not to be hard to get, but to be hard to forget. When she does not know exactly where she stands with you, but she perceives depth, security, and calm leadership, her mind spins in your favor. She replays your words, your silences, and that tension attracts her. Mystery is not hiding. It is holding power, holding space, and retaining just enough to keep her alert. Be constant in your principles, in your purpose, in your direction, but do not confuse emotional exposure with magnetism. Do not confuse intimacy with absolute availability. Mystery is your advantage. Use it and watch the result. Sixth, she desires not adoration, but challenge. Let us be clear, she does not want a fan. She wants a force. And if you believe that elevating her, praising her, and treating every little thing she does as if she were a perfect goddess will make her stay, prepare for a rude awakening. Because although that kind of adoration may seem romantic to you, to her it feels empty. Women are not attracted to perfection. They are attracted to polarity, and polarity is not born from adoration. It is born from challenge. Now, challenge does not mean arguing, nagging, or provoking fights. That is immaturity. Real challenge is vigorous. It is the sense that you are not here to impress her, but to see her exactly as she is. That you push where you are strong and are soft where it matters. It is the ability to oppose her without fear of her leaving. It is holding your frame when she pushes you to the limit. It is ringing the bell not to hurt her pride, but to raise her expectations. Because no matter what she says, she wants to feel. And the right emotional tension is what keeps the spark alive. Let me ask you, have you ever done everything for her? Always saying the right thing, swallowing your true thoughts to keep the peace while watching her interest fade little by little. That is not bad luck. That is the trap of adoration. When a woman feels that you mold yourself around her, that you never offer resistance nor take initiative, at first she may enjoy the attention, but over time the energy changes. You become predictable. You soften. You are easier to direct. And no woman respects a man she can dominate. Attraction fades the moment she feels more masculine than you. Adoration does that. It inverts polarity. You stop being a centered leader and become an emotional subordinate. Even if she stays on the inside, she has already left. This is where challenge changes everything. When you confront her on a mental, emotional, and spiritual level, you activate a deeper level of attraction than the surface. You awaken her instinct for growth, her respect, her willingness to rise to meet you. But again, challenge is not commanding. It is not about power trips. It is about faith in your values and inviting her to hold hers. It is saying, I understand you, but I do not agree. And refusing to back down when she acts disrespectfully, it is refusing to say yes when she expects you to cave. Not to punish her, but to make it clear that your attention must be earned. It is not handed out as a trophy. It is giving her space when she is upset, without trying to fix her, without trying to pacify her, standing still like an unmovable mountain. That presence makes her lean in. She does not want to be adored.